It's Let's Chat, and we are here with When the Deadbolt Breaks. I'm going to say it slower, I get it wrong.
This happened before.
He gets the name of the fucking show wrong.
Every time. This is Let's Chat, Spanky's Dive Bar.
That's a lot to say, man.
Yeah, I always fuck it up. So,
Well, you got it right twice today.
Twice. That says
So far.
So we're going to go, how did you get the band name? And introduce yourself.
Yeah. Who are these guys? Went and who are you guys? Where you from? What's going on?
You?
Individually.
Aaron, guitar, vocals.
I'm Randy. I play drums. I hit things.
Mike, bass, back vocals.
And how did you get the band name, and how long you been around?
The band's been around for coming up on 14 years. It's just about 14 years now. The name kind of came from a dream that I had. Just kind of almost like a comic book image type thing.
Yep.
And one of our videos, it was Slips in Burning Hills, kind of actually documents that entire image as it was, and that's kind of where it came from, was this whole thing of like this guy, this kind of shadowy figure, like breaking down a door in the middle of the night, this girl answering it, and next thing you know, she's on the floor, and then that's kind of what I saw in my head. I had this very specific picture. So that's where the name came from, and then the first song that I wrote for the band was actually Fistful of Flowers and an Empty Handgun, and it was all based around that same story, and I think our, everything we've done since then kind of like conveys that feeling, so, yeah.
So how long you guys been playing?
14 years. Just about, yeah.
Oh shit. Good run. Good run.
We were 21.
Well, as a band, like, the entire band's 14. I mean, the rest of it, we've been always
It's about
playing.
4 years since I've been, and I'm the new guy.
The new guy.
And you've been, a couple years before that? About 6 years?
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike's introduction to the band, he came into the band, he was in for about a month, and we went on tour with Elder for a couple weeks. So it was like kind of quick when that all happened,
Yeah.
But
What bands are you guys in right now, and some of the past bands that you guys really enjoyed, each one of you?
Past bands we're in Buzzard Canyon also right now. We have a totally other band together that I switched to bass, and Mike plays guitar, and Aaron keeps playing guitar.
okay.
And he sings too. But I used to be in Minus back in the day in Connecticut, and oh God, yeah, that's about it. I've had a few other. I had a cover band for a bit, but that wasn't this style. But it was like a really good thing to learn another style of music on bass, was to really branch out and give
Bunch
you
of
some
different
inspiration.
styles, right?
So,
I did that for a while. During hiatus, Morpheus went to a bar band and made some money on the side. Cover bands make so much more money.
You miss that kind of creative aspect of it, and Buzzard Canyon was around for a while, and like when the Devil Breaks had lost our drummer at the time.
Yeah.
So Dumas sat down behind the drums one day, because he's the bass player for Buzzard Canyon. He sat down behind the drums. He's like jamming up. I was like, holy shit, you play drums? He's like, yeah, kind of. And I'm like, man, I've got an idea. So I gave him the record, and I was like, listen to this and see what you think and see what you can do. And like, it was like next week, a week after, he came back and actually had some of the songs down, like as the drummer. So this is.
I was kind of when I first heard that CD, and I was like listening to it and going, I'm like, I can do something with this. I'm like, this is fun. This is like, this is something a little different.
Feeling, huh?
And it's like, playing that on drums, learning some of that stuff it got that primal instinct of just music as a very raw form.
Yep.
And playing drums in a very raw form, that I was like, oh, this sounds like fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that band a lot. Cool. I like the videos for both bands.
Cool. Thank you.
In any other bands right now?
Same band as these guys, right?
Yep. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Well, two is enough, really.
Yeah, 2 is enough.
At least you guys can keep the same members, because it is like a friggin' family or a relationship. It's like
Yeah.
Yep.
you don't have to deal with so much shit being in a band.
And where
But
you guys
love
where
your
you guys,
guys that you're with.
Yeah.
You hate them, but you love them at the same time.
And it's worked out too, because Buzzard Canyon is a 5-piece band, and When the Devil Breaks is a 3-piece band. So the three of us are also in Buzzard Canyon.
So who we missing in Buzzard?
The drummer and Amber Lee is over there.
We'll have to get her in here in a little bit.
Sure. And the way it worked out was like we did when Buzzard Canyon's record first came out 2 years ago. We set up a tour, and both bands went on tour. And it was just 5 of us, so it worked out fine. But with 5 of us, you still get 2 completely separate styles of music with 2 different bands. It confused some people, and other people kind of, understood it. But it works out.
And that tour came off better than we thought too. We were a little like we weren't sure what was going to happen on that tour, and like when we came back, we're like, this tour happened.
Yeah, because we went up into Canada.
There was one band that I was in. It was called Carrion, and it was like we called ourselves cross folk, and it was like folk music, but we had like country kind of beat with like a lot of punk into it, like crust punk. And so we went from that band into the Caskets. Little did I know we were playing the same fucking songs until later on.
You didn't
but
know.
we just like down-tuned everything, and everything was like really sludgy punk.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but I didn't know he was singing the same fucking song. He was singing both bands the same fucking song.
That's nice.
Just a different beat. That was a lot of fun.
So, part of the point here is to get the word out for you guys and everything. So, one question I always like to ask is social media connections. Is it easy for people to hook up with you guys as when the Deadbolt breaks? Where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 2 records coming out at the end of this year, actually.
Cool.
We're releasing Angels Are Weeping, God Has Abandoned on CD through Sliptrick Records out of Latvia. And that actually comes out officially November 2nd. And that's going to be worldwide. They've got a whole big distribution deal going on. And then a buddy of mine runs a label out of New Mexico, Desert Records, and they actually signed us recently to put the same album out on vinyl. So at the end of November, then we're putting it on vinyl.
Another question we like to ask about people is there a possibility of vinyl? Because one of us is a fucking avid vinyl collector.
Oh yeah, so
My record collection's worth $60,000 right now.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so this is our 6th record as a band, and we're pretty proud of it. So we're trying to really push that as much as we can and get out there and do some shows. In the beginning of next year, we're going to do some extensive touring to try and really help push it and promote it.
Yeah.
You can reach us on Facebook and Bandcamp and
check them out.
Instagram,
YouTube. And
They got their own music.
check them on YouTube. After you subscribe to this channel, check these guys out.
They're usually pretty creepy.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is Deadbolt 6669, I think, on YouTube.
There you go. Check them out. Subscribe to theirs. Subscribe to ours. Instagram.
Fuck Instagram. We just talking about Instagram earlier too.
I like Instagram. I like photos.
You can't fit a full band unless you're a 3-piece in the picture.
You can shrink the picture down.
They're square.
That's why it helps. One van fits in pictures. 3-piece
I
van.
think Pornhub is next. I mean,
reach for the sky.
You porn
Or just reach.
You can find us anywhere you want to find a good hole. I mean,
That's where the audience is. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, you gotta
Pornhub videos.
give the people what they want.
I'm totally kidding, but anyways,
Are you down with OPP?
I don't know. I never really knew what that meant, but
You really never knew what it meant? And you didn't listen to the words.
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't at all. Actually, I was busy.
Some people call it property.
Yeah.
Some other people call it pussy.
Yeah, I like
people's-
cats.
Other people's pussy is where it came from. But we usually ask if people usually give the right answer. But
Yeah, man.
you guys gave the wrong answer.
No,
No, he gave the wrong answer.
I always had a hard time with commercial music, man. I still do so.
Yeah, there's a point there.
You want to ask a question? You ask it.
Okay.
Say it loud.
Presley,
Say it
Payne,
loud.
stepping in here, helping us out a little bit.
Awesome name, by the
Presley
way.
has a question. What do you got?
What was your first album?
Album.
Like to own or to record.
Record.
So the first record we did was called "In the Ruins, No Light Shall Shine," and that was 2005-ish.
See, they're old.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. And I mean, at that time it was a different lineup. It was just a drummer and myself, and we got signed by mistake actually. So we were like, oh shit, we had to put a band together, and that kind of, So it's kind of happened from there. But
Cool.
so that was the first record.
Worst and best show.
That you played
That you've
live
played.
gig. Somebody's got one in mind.
Oh, geez.
Anywhere.
The worst had to be one of the probably, I don't know, might have been that New York gig, or it could have been the Strange Brew gig where we were.
You can edit that out, right?
If you want to get on camera,
It depends on what you mean by worst.
Oh yeah. No, when you see like, so we played this one gig, and I have a funny story in a minute, but like we played this one gig, we were like, we drank way too much before the show.
We were last.
Yeah,
We were last.
and we slaughtered.
that's not easy if you.
Well, we slaughtered one of our own songs that had been around for years. And it was this dude, this like guy's like standing up in front of the crowd, and he's like this psycho looking like taxi driver type dude, like with this mohawk and crazy shit, right? Nice. And he's looking right at us, and he's going like this the whole time.
Personally insulted.
And we're like playing, we're going, what the fuck? Like he's like going like this.
Gonna die.
Yeah, we're thinking, you know, that we did it bad enough where he's gonna like kill us later in the parking lot. But
So it's like looking right at me. I look behind my kit, and the dude's looking at me, just going.
yeah. Turns out he's a huge fan, and evidently does this to every band he likes at every show. But we didn't know that at the time, and it was, you know.
I've seen him do it the last year. We were slaying it, and he's still.
At least someone
going
should have gave you a fucking memo.
We think he means you're killing it, you know, but we're not really sure.
It's our own song. And
I know.
we can screw
Kill it or I'll kill you.
But he does that every time.
Best gig you ever played? Most fun? Best gig?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I was in a band, and we played this old punk house called the Hanover House, right? We played it with Mortician. You remember death metal band Mortician?
Yeah.
And at the time, the guitarist in my band was a cop. Right, he had just become a state trooper, and he's like, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. I'm like, no, man, you're fine. You know, we were always in the middle of mayhem, and somehow something happened where like the pit's going for the bands. You know, the band that was playing before we went on was playing, and like all the kids are moshing around. It was a small place, so this kid got thrown against our drum set. So I just went and I picked him up. He was like this little dude. So I picked him up to put him back in the pit, and he grabbed onto my arm and he wouldn't let go. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like trying to push him off me, you know. So I get away from him, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, kid's a psycho, you know? And we're standing there against the edge of the pit, and all of a sudden comes back around, and he grabs onto me. Now I'm like punching him in the face, like trying to like, I'm like, because he's like, he won't let go of me. I'm just like punching him as hard as I can. I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker, you know? So finally, I get away from him, and all the rest of the dudes in my band, they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, right? And every time the song stopped, everybody stood there looking at each other like this, like across the room, like just, you know. And it was just the 4 or 5 of us against all of them, and they were angry as shit, right? And every time the music started, the lights went out.
The old fence, like the honky tonk.
Oh, dude, and the strobes were going, and this kid grabs onto my legs now, and like I'm in the pit, and I'm like kicking her in the face, and I'm like nothing was happening, and I'm like hitting this kid with everything. I'm not, you know, I'm not strong, but I'm not like super whippy. I'm like punching him and kicking him with everything I had, and nothing was happening. So the next song stops, and we're all standing there like catching our breath, you know, and this one kid's like talking to me, he's like coming up to me all like, you know, in my face. And all of a sudden I hear, nobody's gonna hit Aaron Lewis. And like somebody dives behind me, hits somebody else, and like, because this kid was behind me, gonna cock me evidently. And my buddy dove on his arm, and the next thing I know, we're fighting again. So that might have been probably one of the worst shows ever. It was a pretty intense show.
There's been a lot of shows like that for me.
We're gonna try and recreate that.
I usually piss a lot of people off on stage.
Yeah, and I noticed he didn't say I was being antagonistic or I was breaking a law or anything like that.
You know, I just piss people off.
Well,
Especially when I show my ass.
good show, fun shows, best show.
I mean, we had a pretty good show this past weekend in Maryland. I mean, it's one of those underground things where you're playing with no PA. Just for vocals, but everybody's so into it. You see the phones out, people are just taking pictures. You can see the looks on people's faces. I'm looking out behind my kit when we're playing one of our the second song on our set. It's very aggressive, and you can just see people like, whoa, hey, all right, and they kind of just. It was like you're getting the vibe off the audience, and that's what the best gigs are, when the audience really. Is feeding off of what you're doing, and then we feed off of them because they're enjoying it. When you can look out and see them enjoying it.
When they're just
That's
standing
so much
there,
fun.
it's like you feel like you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Not enough.
You just don't feel like playing it anymore.
But when they're not, when they're moving, you can see that smile, you can see that far off look, you can see that movement, you can see that groove.
I like when they come back in. And they're like outside, and everybody's like, "Whoa, okay." They all come back in, but halfway through the set, they usually walk out the door. Okay, we saw that.
Well, that's something that's come up is that we played the New England Stoner Doom Festival in April, and that's going to come up on
Where was that?
a second one in Jewett City,
Connecticut.
and that's going to come up again in May. We noticed that that's something that hadn't happened in previous years. I had been in the band already, but we were playing that gig, and all of a sudden, a lot of people, we all go outside. We have to go outside to smoke in Connecticut.
Right.
But when we played, we noticed there's a full crowd there, and they didn't leave. And even when we had technical difficulties, all of a sudden,
We even
it's
got
like
the
people-
smokers.
They still stuck around. You look out, and the audience is like, "Oh, this place."
The
is
older I've
packed."
been getting, I've been
That's a
staying
good feeling.
outside to the door more just to watch from inside.
Well, you're pretty old.
Getting older, I
But this
can't
is-
mosh around like I used to.
Part of what we do, like we don't really call a moshing crowd. I mean, for what we do, and for honestly, for the first many
You
years,
can't really mosh to that sound, really.
no, like I mean, we do heavier stuff, but I mean, like for the first couple of years that we were around, that's how it was. Like we were getting, we were getting booked with a lot of metal and hardcore bands, which is fine because we listen to that shit, like but like that at the time. I think in our area we were doing something that was different, so the people didn't really know how to react to it, and then like we didn't sound like Seven Dust, we didn't sound like Slayer.
Well, what do you call it? What do you call what you do?
I hate the label
I
shit,
know.
man. I mean,
that's
like
why it's a tough question.
we get thrown into the doom category, stoner category. I mean, it's psychedelic rock.
Doom stoner.
It's just psychedelic heavy, man. I mean, like, so I mean, at that time, like those bands go on to be like a million miles an hour playing technical shit, and we get up there playing as slow as we could, as loud as we could, and people would just stand there.
There's some people that don't get it, really.
But they do now. Like
It's coming back around.
The past couple of years,
definitely.
there was this weird change, and now like people are kind of getting it, and good or bad or indifferent, whatever. I mean, but, like for us, it's working
my
out,
favorite part about Doom was the bass. Like just the down-tuned bass. It sounds so fucking badass.
Yeah. Our next record is gonna be all bass, I think.
Fuck the vocalist.
We're gonna hit bass.
Back to the getting the word out there part of the deal is places you're playing in the near future you'd like people to
Anything that's
think
after
about. We're going to
next
try to get
Friday.
this show out pretty quick, but if you know anything about your schedule in the near future, let them know.
Yeah. I off the top of my head, I don't know the dates. We've got a couple coming up. They're on our website. They're on our Facebook
There
page.
you go.
They're around.
Back.
October
Look 'em up.
27th, Jewett City.
Yeah,
You're the
City,
Cobra.
Connecticut.
That's gonna be a good day.
I gotta do Halloween parade on the 27th.
Yeah, but like I said,
Halloween parade. That's right.
early next year we're doing a 2-week thing. I think we're going to shoot for going down south a little bit, but we'll know in the next couple of weeks. We're still kind of ironing details out with that. So
Now your question that you always ask: what should they?
There's a question I
You
always
always ask.
What's this question?
Fuck, man.
What's the question?
What should they ask us?
Oh, yeah.
That's your
It's
question.
the reverse question.
The very.
Yeah. If you were the interviewee, not the interviewee, what would you ask you guys?
Or what do you want to know to us?
What do you want the people to know about your band, man?
I'll say this. This is what I would want people to know about our band is we're one of the most honest bands you're going to hear. We're not influenced. We wrote this new record without outside influence because no one was telling us how to do this, what to do. We recorded it what we wanted to do, what struck us, what moved us. And that's how it is for us. We're a very honest band. We're not going to give you some, let's write a song in this style. No, it came out how it came out because it came out through our fingers, our hands.
So you're honest. So you're not like Donald Trump.
100%.
Hey.
All right, Preston's got another question.
Preston's
Say it
got
loud.
a question for
What's
the
the
band.
funniest gag gift you have ever gave somebody?
Whoa.
Oh,
Gag gift.
Oh man, that's
Mike.
I got nothing.
One of you gotta have
Gag
something.
gift. Come on.
Or the funniest gift. It doesn't even have to be a gag, but
he gave me a Donald Trump hat.
That's a gift? That's an insult.
He gave it to me. It was in this nice gift bag, and he's like, here, man, it's for you. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's really cool. I put him like, motherfucker, really?
Given to me by my brother-in-law, which it was a pass it along gift that of my brother-in-law is Colombian, like the country. So he's like, yeah, fuck this guy. And it was a pass it along like Trump gift. It was like gifted to someone who really hates Trump.
Oh, look, I'm making me gag again.
my sister had a Trump sticker on her bumper. I crossed out great with a magic marker and put white.
No.
See, it's funny because I really try so hard not to talk politics, man. Like, it's just...
Yeah,
Dolly
so we usually
Parton
don't
said
go
it
there
best.
either.
Did you ever see that thing? She's like, they were asking her about politics today, and she's like, I've been in show business a long time. I know not to say anything about that.
Well, yeah, it's so super polarizing, man. And like, I mean, what I can tell you is that like the new record, Floyd's "Angels Are Weeping," God Has Abandoned. The new record, there's a song called "Floyd's Machine," and you know, it's actually, I don't want to say it's not politically motivated, but the song was motivated for the times that we're in.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like there was a feeling that I was getting at the time, like when I was writing, when I was writing the lyrics to it, that it's my only political song I've ever written as far as lyrically goes, you know.
I wrote one during George Bush.
The other thing is, one of the things I really dig about music is that it's a uniter. That you can have people listening to music, and some of them are left, some of them are right, some of them are straight, some of them are gay. You know, everybody's grooving on the same thing, even though they come in from different places.
Politics suck,
points of view.
but we're in a shitty time.
That's how you pull people in. Is that you do
It's a uniter.
Music is a uniter, and at a point you convey a message, and without trying to be political, sometimes you just convey a human message.
Sure.
Yeah.
And try to be a decent human being about things.
Well, like I said about politics, I think there's good on both sides. Just if you got good morals, at least. There's some people that are all about. There's no morals into it at all.
No, not about party. It's about people. But we're talking about music, not politics.
Yeah, I
so
think
fuck
like
all
now,
that shit.
you were asking like the best shows and all that stuff. I think now are the best shows that we played. Really, I mean, the past couple of years, and it's like I said, there was this change, So now it's like these bands that are like metal, rock and roll, doom, death metal can all be on the same bill and play the show, and the same audience likes every single one of those bands. Or at least
I've noticed the same kind of trend.
Yeah, so it's like
It's a lot of respect.
I see the opposite sometimes because like our band we used to be punk, but we got really harder.
Yeah.
So we were not metal enough for the metalheads. We were not punk enough for the punks.
maybe Connecticut's different. I don't know.
But here it seems different.
Yeah.
Well, we have shows here because I'll put an acoustic act in the friggin'
Right.
and everybody's, because I think you're drinking, you're having a good time, and I think it makes a big difference in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and the venue and the locale matters too, as far as stuff like that goes. Some places have a different flavor.
Me, I'm from everything. I like old country.
Well, that's a well-rounded person.
I love
right?
50s, 60s.
Yeah.
I love doom. I like metal. Getting out of the death metal as much because I don't go to the shows anymore. I like going to jazz music now, mostly. Like if you go see a jazz performer, and all the horns and all that stuff. Everybody in that band is working a friggin' good.
It seemed like all last winter we see a lot of
it.
bands together, and all last winter it seemed like we were seeing horn bands. Every band we were seeing had a horn section.
Like we like Cat Wright and Haley Jane.
Oh yeah.
Had Turquoise.
When I first moved into the town, when I first moved into Lebanon, Connecticut, there was this. It was a Japanese restaurant on the outskirts of town, more towards like Salem or whatever. I don't remember what it was called at the time, but it was a Japanese restaurant, but every Friday night,
Kodos at Salem.
every Friday night that jazz bands come in. And I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. So every Friday night, I would go down to this Japanese restaurant, drink scotch, and watch jazz bands. And I thought it was phenomenal because to me, like jazz,
scotch and jazz go together.
Well, scotch goes with everything, but that's without saying.
I usually listen to Friday night jazz on public radio.
Yeah,
I did.
But I mean, you have to to be a well-rounded musician or whatever. You have to accept everything. And,
yeah. There's two kinds of music, good and bad.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
And that's what makes this band actually I think very special is that we draw from a lot of influences. Yeah. So many metal bands and other bands within our bigger picture genre of metal, heavy music, draw from their own. Oh, we like this genre of metal, so we're gonna play from it. Yeah. But we draw so many other influences from so many other genres that it's just again it goes back to the honesty thing about the music is we're just gonna play what comes out of us.
Well, a lot of metal bands, they're.
That's always fun and usually
I don't like
noticeable.
metal bands much because they have this one thing they like, and that's
pretty much.
A lot of bands do that when they get they get into a thing and they get stuck into a genre. It's like, well, we can't change because this is what we're known for.
We're gonna do 8 strings and 15-string guitars, and we're gonna just chug along.
Out of our 6 records, I mean, if you listen to them, it's one of those things. Now, we'll sit down and we'll write something. We're like, well, it may not sound exactly like what we're doing at the moment, but who cares? We'll make it sound like us eventually.
Evolution.
Let's just take it and kind of run with it and see what happens. In the new record coming out on Sliptick Records this year, November 2nd, and Desert Records, end of November. I'm plugging.
Plug away. About
classic record.
So,
but the new record has everything from. I mean, we've got fast parts, got heavier stuff you can tell it's somewhat thrash influenced or whatever. I mean, and some of the mellower stuff has been compared to the Bauhaus. I mean, I get the Bauhaus. I don't listen to them, but I have the records. I just so we get compared to all sorts of different things. There's that one record, our new record has a lot of different styles on it, and it's just us. That's what we do. No matter what, it still sounds like us at the end of the day, and we throw it in there.
What I hated about my band. It's we've evolved so much, and it was then the singer, the guitar player, he's like, well, this don't sound like us. I'm like, so what?
Why not evolve?
Play it.
Right, you gotta evolve.
It came out of you.
I think if you don't, you're done.
We there was a couple ones we just jammed to, and they're like, well, this doesn't sound like our style, so we shouldn't do this. I'm like, no, this sounds fun. This is cool.
Now.
I just feel like it's too confining. It's too confining.
That's what Morpheus was against, and then it became that. And I was like, fuck that. So that's why we broke.
Any serious questions? Questions that are going to alter people's lives or anything?
Not really.
No, neither. No, I was just kidding about that. We don't want to alter.
And if you guys got kids or anything, you're all older.
Alright, fuck that shit, I'm out of here.
You guys are all about my age, right? You guys are 30s, late 30s, almost 30s.
Oh yeah, I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, you're 40s.
Oh, man, you see him.
I'm the only one in my 30s.
He looks good.
We have kids.
You guys all got kids?
No, I've got four fur children.
Fur children, yeah.
Cats.
Well, we like kids.
We've got kids.
I got kids.
Yeah.
All right, kid.
Kid.
He's 10 years old, plays video games. That's his thing.
Yeah. They do like to play video games, that's for sure.
I'll throw in some metal, and then he, plays video games to my metal, and then I'll throw it on record while he's playing, and we're just in agreement.
My son just started his CD collection.
Nice.
And he's documenting them and all that stuff. And so I'm big on the collection. I was like, well, if you collect these good, then I'll start getting you some vinyl.
There you go.
Well, that's just me as a little kid. It's I would grab my parents' vinyl and you look in the. I'm scrolling through this. I'm 8, 9 years old.
I love my kids.
And here's here's Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
Here's
Wow.
Chicago. And so I'm looking at Jimi Hendrix and I'm looking at Are You Experienced? I'm going, this is it's this two white guys with afros, and there's this black guy, and I'm like, and then I put it on, and I'm just like, my heart just melted. I'm just like, this is the most amazing music I'm hearing. This guitar sound that is just totally just off the hook and just wild abandonment.
This is the answer to one of the questions I usually ask too. Is when you're 12 years old and you're in mom and dad's car, what was coming out of the radio?
God, I mean, not even in the car. I just remember like my parents had the old, and still probably have it, but one of the old tube radios.
Oh yeah, I have a couple.
And the things were, it was like one of the big ones. You know, actually they had a couple of them, but they were super cool because they would catch like foreign channels and shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really neat. But I remember like, I mean, it was always, you know, the oldies DRC. I remember like hearing the Animals' House of the Rising Sun for the first time. I remember, you know, Sha Na Na, that type of thing.
Oh my gosh,
you know, it was all doo-wop and.
I saw the Animals.
Did you really?
It sucked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't tell me. That's what like man. Like
Eric was not having a good voice today.
What were you hearing, Mike, when you were a kid? From your parents. What were your parents listening to?
I stole all my father's Doors albums. And
Oh, there you go.
still have them.
Yep. Oh yeah. Good for you.
Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beach Boys.
Beach Boys.
That won't hurt you. Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
That was good happy
Yeah.
music.
My parents were like the contemporary 80s parents in like the mid 80s, but they were like, you know, these kind of like not quite hippies, but then all of a sudden it's like I'm listening, I'm like, Mom, let's listen to Metallica. Let's listen, you know, it's something I'm putting like Master of Puppets in the tape deck, and I'm like, let's listen to some Black Sabbath, and I'm just like,
Cassette. That's the
Cassettes.
sub question, I guess. What medium
we
were
had-
you
oh,
listening
cassettes.
to?
Cassettes.
Cassette.
8-tracks, yeah.
8-track.
8-tracks. When my first car,
remember 8-tracks a
I was an
lot.
8-track player, and about 6
old.
months later, it was cassette.
Yeah, I was a kid. So in second grade, my parents' neighbor gave us my first tape deck. It was a small blue and white tape recorder, right?
Yeah.
And he gave me the Beach Boys' "Endless Summer" cassette to go along
There you
with
go.
it. So from there it was
Pet
that,
Sounds.
and then it was Huey Lewis in the News.
Oh,
sports, right?
geez.
So
Yeah.
then a buddy of mine.
Spewy Dewis.
A buddy of mine on the playground had two tapes with him. He had Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Oh, now
Black
I see.
Sabbath,
Yeah,
the
you're getting an
first record.
education now.
And I remember third grade, we're out in the playground, and he's like, "Dude, pop this in." I stole it from my brother. It was Black Sabbath, the first album, right? And I just remember sitting there in the playground, sunny day, sun's up, it's the middle of summer, and we popped that fucking first record in, man. And all of a sudden, that first song, Black Sabbath, started playing. We were just like, we were both sitting there, we're like, what the fuck is this? It was like, you know, every day we'd listen to that.
This isn't on the radio.
Yeah, and then we would start listening to, like, you know, Pink Floyd, The Wall, and it was like, so that was, you know,
I
kind
love The Wall when it first came out. That was just great.
The movie,
Yeah.
the movies.
I remember buying Black Sabbath similar on tape, like at like Walmart or not Walmart, Kmart or
Yeah.
you know, something like that, and
Yeah.
like bringing it home, and I'm like, I hear the bell in the rain. Like,
Yeah.
did I buy in a little clean something? I'm like, did I buy the wrong tape? And then all of a sudden it kicked in, and I was like,
Satan's coming.
yeah. I mean, it was like one of the greatest moments of my life was hearing that distorted guitar come in. I was just like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
you can't, you know, you just can't go back to.
When I first saw
Can't
Ozzy,
undo that.
I was so friggin' high watching Ozzy. It was like, well, the first time, it was Black Sabbath the first time I saw him, and I was like, I'm actually seeing Black Sabbath. This is badass. And then, you know, I saw Ozzy a bunch at Ozfest, so it kind of lost its mind.
When I went to Ozfest in '99, that was the only year I went, was because Black Sabbath, the original Black Sabbath, was playing. I had like
That was
joints
the first
rolled
year
up.
I did.
I had
yeah.
joints and joints rolled up in a cigarette pack, so I had two cigarette
Where did you see
packs.
him?
Like Meadows in Hartford. You know, nothing.
Yeah, we
you know, it
went-
was a big.
we
It was
went
a
to
big venue.
Mansfield.
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, but it was just. I was like, I'm bringing all this with me. You know, like fuck yeah.
Like my sister, I was in the mosh pit. I was moshing around, and every time I went around my sister, it was my turn to hit the pipe. The joint, she was like, "Oh, hey, I'm back in the mosh pit." Of course, that's when I used to be able to mosh. 18 years old.
We ain't doing that shit now.
No,
You know, some
hurt
of us
for a
still
weekend.
do, and some of our bodies don't reconnect with our brains.
Oh yeah? Well, now nobody's gonna know Jibba the Gent. you don't know me. Sometimes I don't even know myself. At times I try too hard to be someone else.
I heard they talking about a nigga, tell them speak up. And while they talk, I take a minute, roll the weed up. I'm grinding hard and I'm getting money the fast way. Bro, crime motherfuckers, take your ass that away. Brody trying to tell nigga legs, but I'm too heat. Bitch, I ain't on my own shit, I don't do these boys OP, novice, newbies. I be missing spit it on stage like it's souvenir.
Back to the bone, don't sat in a throne like Skeletor. This era's legacy of Cain with a Celtic sword. Brothers on the hunt for blood, we hell bent on war. Saying the remedies changed, but I never felt so poor. Bipolar microphone soldier with emotional instability. Soon to be superstar like Mario's invincibility. A chemical dependency, acid shrooms and ecstasy. Having a lady go ass to mouth like the human centipede.
And I'm dethroned when I leave home, cause anytime I roam I'm known to never leave hoes alone. But I can't be myself anymore. Am I drowning? Am I reborn? Oppressive porn for others to peep on. Never been the type to ever wanna sleep on.
In mine, it's about that time I pull you out like motherfuckers out of line. Like you know you doubted mine. That's why these chords always tangle. Got me looking at it from a different angle, different perspective. This shit got me ambidextrous. That ain't how you say that.
So it's the LSD walking, Kalana been talking, feeling sleepy and hollow, just like Christopher Walken. I'm headless, my flesh is rotten, I know my presence is haunted. Clearly you run out of options, I'll have your head by the morning. I believe in the goddess, she sows the seeds to my fortune. Use this mic as a wand and I host a demon performance. Never question allegiance, I'd rather die in my sleep. I'm a sheet eater, speak either, these beasts leak through my teeth.
This is my world, I feel like I'm stuck. Shut off from the rest of the globe, hopeless shit out of luck. Nobody gives a fuck about us, we get the shoulder that's cold. They got that freedom for sale and them pipe dreams sold. Well, we ain't buying it, the government is lying like rugs. It makes sense to make change, but that don't make them no bucks. You hear me? Nah, I think they fucking think that we're dumb. This kid's insane, he needs a shrink, he must be drinking or something. Yeah, right. I don't care what you're into, where you from, who you know, what you been through. Homie, you telling stories like a king do. Hey, and that ain't something that a king do. No, that ain't something that a boss do. Gas him up and suck his off fumes. Faded. For you hate it, I'll be on to the next move. You hesitated so I cross you. Hold up.